Trillions. Now, the state pension age could rise to 68, even sooner than originally planned, to pay for the triple lock. That's a warning from ex-ministers.
Yes, the former Tory MP Lord Willits says that precedent and evidence so far shows that it really needs to be sped up. So is it fair?
Well, joining us now is pensions consultant Hilary Salt and political commentator with Young Voices UK, Alex Petropoulos. Very good to see you both this morning. Hilary, let's start with you. Do you think that we should raise the pension age?
I don't. It's very easy to have kind of knee-jerk reactions to some of the challenges we face. And I think pensions is one of those areas where everybody needs to be able to plan in for the long term. And so to change things very quickly, I think is very unhelpful. Government is actually committed to give a 10-year notice period for changes in state pension age. And as you say, the state pension age is actually already scheduled to rise to 68. If we were to bring that forward, it wouldn't make any change, today or tomorrow in terms of what the government needs to pay out to support pensioners. And so it's not going to solve some of the issues that people think are the problems facing us today.
What do you think, Alex?
Well, I think that you're right that something needs to be done, but it's not necessarily about what needs to be done today. It's about what needs to be done over the next 10, 20 years, because the way things look, we keep throwing more and more money into the pension system. If we're keeping the triple lock, if we keep funneling money into people who are already on pensions, it's just unsustainable. And I don't see any way in which we keep the current system, we keep things as sustainable without raising the pension age. It's a bad situation to be in, but the people that will be affected by raising the state pension age are people who have voted in a government that called for the triple lock. So it's sort of having your cake and eating it, right?
Oh, Hilary?
So there's two principles behind the points you made there. I think one is that there's this idea that the people of working age support all the people of pension age. Now, that kind of assumes that everybody of working age works and nobody above pension age works. Excuse me, neither of those are true, actually. Lots of people in their 50s and 60s are economically inactive. One solution to some of the challenges we're facing is to grow the productive economy so that we can employ those people in good, well-paid jobs. They can pay more taxes, and that will support both the triple lock and the basic state pension. The other assumption that you're making is that the only dependents in a population are those over pension age. What you tend to find is that older societies tend to have fewer younger people. And if you look at the overall dependency ratio, that's the number of old and young people that we need to support. Actually, that doesn't change quite as much because we have fewer. Those are both the people who call on welfare and healthcare, and both of those. If you take both of those populations together, the change isn't very much.
What do you make of that, Alex?
That's a nice argument, but it only works in the short term. So yes, in the short term, we have fewer younger people and more older people, and so things balance out. But what that means is over 10 and 20 years, the problem just gets worse and worse because fewer younger people mean that you get this sort of generational pyramid, and then things start looking really bad. If you look at places like South Korea, you look like those places with this demographical collapses. Over the longer periods of time, things get a lot worse. But I agree with the point about growth. I find it hard to take a point about growth when it's been pensioners who have essentially sabotaged the country's growth over the last 10 years and saying, no, I don't want to grow. I just want money for me. I just want to focus on helping this one specific group when so many other groups in the country needed help, needed support. Child poverty is at record highs in the last 20 years. That's horrible. And yet somehow we're throwing more and more money to pensioners. We're sticking with the triple lock. We're sticking with these systems that are just helping this one group in the country that have sabotaged the country's growth by voting in for governments and policies.
Well, of course, not everyone within that group votes for the same political party, but it comes down to the argument, and you hear it a lot, and perhaps you'd appreciate it. I know this sounds really patronising, Alex, and forgive me, but when you've paid into the system for 40 or 50 years, then perhaps your attitude changes and say, well, I've put money in, I've supported the generation that came before me. Now it's my turn.
Yeah, I agree, and I understand the sentiment. I just think that we all have to understand as a country things are going to get worse before they get better. And in order for that to happen, they have to get worse for everyone. And no one group can say, I want to be left out. I don't want to be touched by this sort of period of bad times before we can actually start growing again, before things can get better. I think we have to acknowledge collectively as a country that everyone has to chip in and acknowledge the fact that standards of living might have to lower for everyone. And we can't say, you, this one group, will be safe from that. You, this one group, will be able to carry on living your lives and essentially sacrifice the prosperity of future generations just because you want to keep your quality of life for a few more years.
Okay. Alex,
Can I come
Hillary,
back?
thank you both. Well, you can come, Hillary, if you can do it in 15 seconds. It's all yours.
I would just say I'm not sure it's helpful to pit generations against each other. You know, the people of the younger generations are our children and grandchildren, and actually, I think we need lots more intergenerational solidarity, and you know, that's the way to resolve a lot of these issues.
Okay, well, it's a nice note to end on. Thank you
is.
both very much indeed.